Hey guys, it's me Fairfox and welcome back to home. We last left off and we got through this. We found out that there's been some murders in this town and this dude doesn't have his memories and he can't remember anything. And we went through the sewer, saw a lot of blood, saw a lot of bodies and stuff. And yeah, it's really getting intense. But I'm still thinking I'm the killer. You can't change my mind. I still think I'm the killer. Just look at him. Just look at his orange hair and his beard. Or whatever that is. Or maybe that's his chest hair. Ew. But let's continue on. Okay. An old ticket booth that looked fairly ruined inside. The ticket window were sheets of paper. And wait, what were these train recipes? I thought the I had picked up might have matched these, but of course not. These stations have been closed for years. The tickets must have been for the newer station that opened on the other side of the town after this one was abandoned. However, I noticed a series of fresher looking paper covered in tiny notes scribbled and diagrams. I still think I'm the killer. Let's just get out of here. I don't like those eyes. Let's get out of here. Okay. Trampled in the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off. I was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Hello? Hello? There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm. A few embers still burned at the bottom. Two folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. Whoever was here left this here in a hurry. But why? The cheap dome tent slept two people. I shone my flashlight inside. I could see some bedrolls, two backpacks, and a cooler. No, don't. Something, I can't read that. No. Yes. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. A musty wooden plank dropped off the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Do I bother to take it? I'm not hauling that heavy thing. I didn't see the point of carrying that hunk of wood around. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Finding the campsite had been strangely unsettling. I couldn't imagine why anyone would abandon their site in the middle of the night, especially in the dark forest. I was thrilled at least to finally be out of there. Even now, as I peered through the dense trees, I could see a crack of light and a bit of the land beyond. I must have been getting closer to town, but where exactly was I? Walking, walking. Creak. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Now times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. One of the lockers hung open. The contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. There was a large power box, 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off into other parts. The metal was starting to wear, cobwebs and collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked shut. Okay. La 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 la. Up the stairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. I clicked the bulletin board. Hello. The board contained yellow clipping of newspaper cartoons and notes. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped inside, but it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. The power panel looked like it was shot. Did I get that other one too? No. There. Gotta remember to do that. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, there was a rusty looking card on the inside. Okay. Our old break table. Layers of dust and grime only made seeing this thing more. Is everybody in this town dead? Door had hastily boarded up. This was Norman's locker. The door was detent like someone had punched it in. I don't remember him doing that where he worked. A Unity shelf crammed with mismatched tools, items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Now let's take it. I took the hammer and noted it was as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom was a mechanic card. Did I take the card? I did take the card. I slipped the card into my pocket. Get the power back. I think I got all the switches back. Let's go use this card I found down the stairs. Key I found. Seemed like it would pass through. There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? No. It's too chicken. Let's look around first. Okay, nothing here. We jump. Oh man, my leg hurts like hell. I looked around at the dark and trees and damp hard packaged dirt outside the factory walls. I wasn't entirely familiar with the past before me, but I knew it was a long walk home. For some reason I felt a hint of regret at leaving that place, but I knew I had to get home to Rachel. I thought I'd tried to make it back to the main road and find my way from there. The garbage bin was disgusting. Mess of rotten food, slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it? Yes. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card now. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. I'd entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for a faint sound of television. I like television. Norman! Norman, you're home? Hello? It's your old pal, I don't know my name. Norman? Norman? There was what is this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wondered where it led. Not yet. The TV's still flickering. Some in channel. Norman? Oh no. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker, one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman, you deserve better than this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him a piece of it. I just couldn't stand to think anybody about what was going on. Quickly, I closed Norman's eyes. Rest in peace, Norman. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see what's in the attics, even though I don't wanna. I mean, I found Norman. I guess I gotta snoop around his house some more. Single food. Gotta go snooping around in Norman's attic. An old TV. There was a large cardboard box that had been sealed. Inside an old cardboard box was a pile of clothes, photos, even shoes. As I looked closer, I realized they were Rachel's. What were you doing here, Rachel? Were you responsible for the poor Norman's downstairs? Wait, what was that? I want to look at that. Do I? Oh, it probably was just the ladder. Never mind. Yeah, keep going! Bye, Norman. Thanks for letting me hang. Yeah, keep going. As I guessed, this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough. but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the woods. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through it. Mess, did I? Yes. I found a hairpin amongst the rotten food and trash and pocketed it. I want some food! Dang it. Guess I can't get damn foods! I guess we're leaving now. I wasn't entirely surprised to find this there. It was one of Rachel's old fall coats. I always wondered what had happened to it. How long had it been there? Inside the cabinet was a small bit of impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was it doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it? Carefully pushed the piece back into place. Felt a great burden and was lifted. Let's go downstairs. Used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had useful things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty and fat. Stacks of travel magazines set beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged and must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of a water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. It's been weeks since I'd last seen Norman, and finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against the chair only cemented my assurance in getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken the piece from his store, but why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled the dusty old box of clothes in Norman's attic. Felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers. But I was close to home. It was time to find the truth. Let's go find this truth. Let's find out who the killer is, as I already probably guessed it's me. It probably is. Let me just look around. I want the TV. It's probably, let me check. It was locked. It wasn't my home. It's just my home. Locked tight, not my home. Then my home. Where's my home? Yay! It was locked, so the neighborhood local postcard letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes, it was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwritten looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm sending this to you in the letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort things out anyway, away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him. Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me? Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but deserve at least that much. Goodbye. It's probably Rachel. Even though I don't know why I would kill a whole town if my wife cheated on me. That better not be the story. Let me just tell you now, it better not be. Stop. Ah. Stupid. Ah. Ah. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expanded, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breath, ragging and strained. I flickered the light switch by the door. The power was off. Honey, I'm home! I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday? Or sometime before? The door to the basement was locked. Where had put the damned key? There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of... How long has I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? I ripped open the bill and read it. Just right, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out there. I need to see if Rachel was here. Let's go find Rachel. Gotta find Rachel. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. I had found the last missing piece of my wallet, the old photo of Rachel. I had stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terrible. Did I take it? I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why did I throw it away? Our television I had purchased before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then, it was too late. This is a strange house. Our hallway mirror had been smashed into pieces, scattering around the floor. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old clawfoot bathtubs. Let's keep searching. Rachel! Rachel, you here? My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top of the drawer of my desk. Did I take it? I pocketed the key. I'm the killer. No doubt, I'm the killer. I killed everybody. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I looked more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was close, but I had a feeling what was in it. Inside Rachel's suitcase were a few days' worth of clothes, some personal effects, and a train ticket. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger. The date and time matched the recipient I had found. I unlocked the basement door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty key here. I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. There were old clothes, tools, and other things were up. I hadn't thrown away yet. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. I hope I can find something instead of backtracking. Maybe I should have took that stuff. Shit. Fuck. Crap. I might have to backtrack, and I don't want to backtrack. Okay, I found in the basement and locked the door. Okay, good. Thank goodness. It looked like a room had been tossed around. Furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Yes, I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciate its weight. I appreciate the weight of that crowbar. Now I can be Gordon Freeman. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? The heavy swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Don't look. Don't look. I'm gonna look! Turtle! A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful. It made my eyes water. I was sure if I'd even touched the pile to see what lay within. But I knew I had to. I had come this hour. After the searching, after all I had been, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find Rachel. It was worse than I could have possibly imagined. Within the folds of that rotten, smelly, heavy fabric was the pale, dead figure of my darling wife. What struck me most was that she wasn't bloody or torn apart, rather she was covered in silky green bruises, and her windpipe had been crushed. Real horror was that whoever had killed her had done so with the bare hands. So this is what had been growing in the back of my mind. This whole time, this is what I was afraid of. I thought about all I'd seen, and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I could stray there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Redundantly exhausted from the journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. My wallet within the contents, and either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again. Maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that force, the water tower. Was I at those places? Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its content. But what does that mean? Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. Now it's confusing. Did you been there? What if I click no? Does it mean... I mean, it's confusing. This was the old photo of that other man and his wife, I assume. I found it in that house. There were a lot of disturbing things in those tunnels underneath the house. Maybe that man wasn't quite what he seemed. But what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? I don't know. Could have been just some random man. What if I clicked no? I wasn't sure, but the poor old bastard was good and dead. He was a victim, not a criminal. I could see my face had grown pale and weak. I couldn't bear to look in. It was like I didn't actually expect reflection. I felt empty and drained. It was the key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through the door. It seemed to me it was probably Norman's, but it was true. What was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Well, probably works there. Who else would have been? Norman, what were you doing back there? Laptop had finally run out of power. Sad face. Now I can't play my games on. Well, this is the bathroom, I think. Reflection in that creamy glass was only a shallow whisper. He still loves his bathtub. Okay, down we go. I'm kind of lost, actually. My old office safe set on the floor. It used digital password lock. It's not R. Rachel. Damn it, it is like Ex Mortis, because I don't fucking remember the fucking passwords. Shit. Looks like can't find what's in that safe. I don't know. I'm getting real tired. The mail's still set on the heap of floor. Can I leave now? Ah, shit. You're probably the killer. Fuck. Can't I just solve this murder? I'd probably have to get in the safe to finish the game, but I don't remember the fucking password. Is there an attic? Shit, I don't know the password. I don't know the password. Fuck. Okay, we'll keep looking. But I'm not backtracking. If I have to end this video right here, I will. And you'll never know what happened. Because I paid. I know what you did. He's probably the killer. And I'll probably just end it like that. Why can't I go back down? I'm gonna leave the house then. I don't know what the key code is. Shit. It's probably something stupid. I'm trying to remember. Is it in this room? The safe used an 8-digit code. R. Rachel. I don't know what. Unless it's don't look. Don't look. I don't know the code. I don't fucking know the code. Shit. One more thing, and then I'm just gonna end it. You'll never know. Ha 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 ha! Because I don't fucking care. I already know who killed him. I'm recording. It was the letter I had taken from the postbox. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? Someone... Why did they... Rachel seemed concerned. So, she seemed worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? I'm gonna say yes, because I want this game to end. I was sure of it. She wanted to end their affair. And that bastard, he killed her for... I thought it made sense. Norman was clearly seeing Rachel a lot, so we had plenty of time to plan it. He knew where we lived, obviously. Is that why Rachel looked so scared when I came home that day? What had happened to me? Did Norman knock me out or something? Okay. Can I leave the house? Please. I want to go. I don't know. Unless I have an attic where I can find some codes. How did I end up dead? How did he end up dead? He was already gone when I woke up. There's no attic. Click, click. Computer, button left running, blah 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 blah. I bet to beat the game, I have to know the code. But I don't know the code. Inventory. Nope. 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 Well, It seemed like I'd seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Oh, I'm ready to go back in this basement. I'm ready. Maybe there would be anything for me to find, but I had to take a last look. One last look. Now that I stood there, I realized I could not go back into that room again. I already seen too much. One last look at what? If that's the key code for that safe, I don't know what it means, because I can't read it. One way or another. Did I leave and never return? Yes, I left. And living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swore I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had been unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of long-standing horror I'd been living. Walking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. I wasn't sure what had happened to that other man I had found in that house. He seemed to me more a victim, but what was his role in all this? And what was hidden within those sewers I had found? The tunnel to the man house obviously led there, but was there something I missed? I had found the concrete my rod scattered through town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my life were about, but I knew I had been to that forest, and even Norman's place. Well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought that would cover my tracks, so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. The tangled mess of the horrible forest was an experiment I never want to repeat. I know Norman wasn't a complete innocent in all this. He was obviously going back to the factory, rooting in those lockers. But he bought that poor guard I had found to his end. It certainly seemed so, but I almost didn't want to believe it. After the factory, I thought I might have find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, you were dead. It was damn hard to feel bad about that. It was clear you and Rachel were more than just friends. But obviously whatever had been going on had gone badly. So why did you kill her? She went out of whatever you two were getting into? Who was responsible for the other murders? And of those other horrible things that had gone in this town? I would find no peace. That much was certain. This way, I didn't have to look in the eye, or sit through some kind of trail, and wonder what was going through your head. When I had marched through the rain towards home, clung to the hope that it would end. And I guess, in a way, it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it was? I had strained to feel as disoriented as I was sleepwalking to think of now. When I entered from the backyard, I knew something was going wrong. I could feel it. No sound. No movement. It was like the entire house had been holding its breath, waiting for me. But Rachel. Oh, Rachel. No. No one could have been prepared for that. Norman, I will never forgive you for what you've done. Your death is no comfort. I only wish it could have been me who made your breath your last. For whatever reason I could never have fathomed that this would be the end. My Rachel was dead. She was gone. And soon, too, I would be. As I swung open the door and stepped outside into the air, I caught the scent of a wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again. Cold insert shook me. My head, too. What would I do now? Who would I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft, even beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, rather that I should run. And that was House. Huh. Not this. It was really deep in the beginning, but when it got near the end, it just got confusing and kind of repetitive. A lot of unanswered questions. Maybe because I didn't choose some right paths. Maybe it has alternate endings. I don't know. But yeah, I really thought I was the killer. It would have made more sense if I was the killer. It's just confusing. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this Let's Play of Home. A bit of scares, a bit of chills, and a lot of confusing. A bit of confusing at the end there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you just dislike it. And I'll see you, all of you, on the next video. Backtrack. Can't find a basement locked door. Okay, good. Thank goodness. It looked like a room that tossed around. Furniture was a mess. Something breaking here. Crowbar. Yes. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciate its weight. I appreciate the weight of that crowbar. Now I can record it.